Hello grade 10 students, this is Mr. Bulactin at your service. How are you all doing? Welcome back to school. How's your first module in Mathematics 10? Difficult? Well, I have made this video to supplement that material that you have. So listen very carefully. I am hoping that this video will really serve its purpose. So I will be making a video on Quarter 1, Module 1, Lesson 1, which is Generating Patterns. The scope of Module 1 is to develop your skill in generating patterns. While going through this module, you are expected to first, generate pattern from a given succession of objects, numbers, letters, or symbols. Second, find the end term of a sequence. And third, write the rule for the end term of a sequence. Now, what is a sequence? The word sequence means an order in which one thing follows another in succession. It is also an ordered list. It is also defined as a set of objects which is listed in a specific order, one after another. And each member or element in the sequence is called term. The terms in a sequence can be written as A sub 1, A sub 2, A sub 3, A sub 4, and so on until A sub n, which means A sub 1 is the first term, A sub 2 is the second term, A sub 3 is the third term, A sub n is the nth term, and so on. Sequences are classified as finite and infinite. If we say finite sequence, it contains a limited number of terms. This means it has an end or last term. On the other hand, an infinite sequence contains a countless number of terms. The number of terms of the sequence continues without stopping, or it has no end term. The ellipsis at the end of the following example shows that the sequences are infinite. Sometimes, a pattern in the sequence can be obtained and the sequence can be written using a general term. A sub n is called the general or end term. Actually, in lesson number 1, Generating Patterns, there are two major activities that you need to do. First, finding the terms of a sequence given the general term. And the other one is finding the general term given the terms of a sequence. Now let me give you an example of a general term or an end term. A sub n is equal to 4n minus 1. So your A sub n is the representation of your general term or your end term. It is also known as your dependent variable. So if you will say dependent variable, its value depends on the values that you will assign to your independent variable. In this case, n is our independent variable. If we're going to make a connection to your previous learning in algebra, your n here is actually your x, while your A sub n is your y. So your A sub n is dependent to whatever values n will assume. Let us do the first major activity in lesson 1, which is determining the number of terms or determining the terms of a sequence given the general term. Now let us consider this task. Find the first 4 terms of the sequence A sub n is equal to 4n minus 1. So our major task is to find the first 4 terms. So your n would be equal to your first 4 counting numbers. That means n is equal to 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you copy the general term, which is A sub n is equal to 4n minus 1. So, we will substitute our n with the first value of n, which is 1. So you will have a sub 1 is equal to 4 times, so your n will be substituted by 1. So all the n in the equation will be substituted by 1. Times 1 minus 1. You simplify it further. 4 times 1 is 4. Minus 1 is equal to 3. So that is your a sub 1. Now let's proceed to our a sub 2, or the second term. A sub 2 is equal to 4 times 2 minus 1. Continue. 4 times 2 is 8. Then copy. Minus 1. 8 minus 1 is 7. So that is your second term. Now let's proceed with our a sub 3, that is equal to 4 times 3, then copy, minus 1. Multiply. 4 times 3, that is 12. Copy, minus 1. 12 minus 1 is 11. That is your a sub 3. Okay? Now let us solve a sub 4. A sub 4 is equal to 4 times 4 minus 1. And that is equal to 4 times 4 is 16. Copy, minus 1. 16 minus 1 is 15. So that is your a sub 4. Okay? So we are done solving our a sub 1, a sub 2, a sub 3, and a sub 4. So you will stop at a sub 4 because your n is just equal to 1, 2, 3, and 4. After that, you can make the conclusion. Therefore, the first 4 terms of the sequence a sub n is equal to 4n minus 1 are, okay, you start with a sub 1, so 3, comma, 7, comma, you have 11, comma, and then 15. So, we're done with our first task. Now let's proceed to task number 2. Determine the terms of the sequence a sub n is equal to 2 to the exponent of n plus 3 when n is equal to 1, 2, and 3. So in this task, we are given specific values of n which are 1, 2, and 3. That means we will be solving for 3 terms only of the general term. So let us start solving. Copy the general term. A sub n is equal to 2 to the exponent of n plus 3. You start with your first value of n, which is 1. So a sub 1 is equal to 2 to the exponent of 1 plus 3. 2 to the exponent of 1 is equal to 2. Then copy, plus 3. Your a sub 1 is equal to 2 plus 3 is 5. Now proceed to your a sub 2. A sub 2 is equal to 2 to the exponent of 2 plus 3. 2 to the exponent of 2 is equal to 4. Why 4? Because you are going to multiply the base by itself twice. So 2 times 2 is 4. Then copy plus 3. Therefore, your a sub 2 is equal to 7. And we are not yet over. Proceed to a sub 3, which is equal to 2 to the exponent of 3 plus 3. What is the value of 2 to the exponent of 3? What does it imply? It means that 2 will be multiplied by itself 3 times. So this means 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2, 8. Then copy, plus 3. Therefore, your a sub 3 is equal to 11. We are done because we have already calculated for a sub n given the values of n. So make your conclusion. Therefore, the values of a sub n is equal to 2 to the exponent of n plus 3 are 5, 7, and 11. And there you have it, guys. We're done with our lesson 1 of the first module, which is generating patterns. Points to remember. In determining the terms of a sequence given the general term, you have to consider the values of n indicated in the situation or in the problem. Substitute to the formula given or the general term given to determine the terms. Thank you very much, grade 10 students, for bearing with me in this video lecture. Hope to see you in my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to your friends. This video could be of help also to them. Thank you. Bye-bye.